Banks are getting into the crypto market. More specifically, they are getting into stablecoins. And we know one of the most adopted stablecoin right now is RLUSD. And also, well, you might be able to use XRP to leverage a mortgage in the US. Think I'm talking absolute nonsense? Stick around because we've got some absolute alpha to drop here on the channel, as well as some very interesting charts you simply cannot afford to miss. Remember, every day we're breaking down what's going on with XRP, keeping your portfolio moving when everyone tells you to sell. We got you covered to make those wise decisions. So with that being said, smash up that like button to a brand new all-time high, hit that subscribe button, let's get into it. So I don't want to dwell too much on not XRP/RLUSD content, but Circle today, obviously everyone knows Circle, USDC stablecoin issuer, had that massive IPO. It will now soon be available to US banks by building a partnership with Florida-based fintech firm to make basically USDC available to traditional financial institutions. Now, this is big news. The reality here is, how does this affect XRP and where does it go to when you talk about RLUSD? Well, in my opinion, someone has to make a move first. For example, BlackRock getting into ETFs, or things like Michael Saylor and Strategy buying Bitcoin. Well, Circle and USDC are making the first move when it comes to banks custodying crypto and supporting purchasing through stablecoins. My view, you're going to see a pivot, and I think RLUSD is going to make its way into a number of banks. And the difference here is I think RLUSD could make it into Europe. Bearing in mind it's MiCA compliant and everything else. So this is going to be an interesting one. Now the seal, so to say, has been broken. I actually think we're going to see a massive influx of stablecoins into banks, which unlocks a massive amount of capital for everyday Americans and people worldwide. Now, you may be sat there thinking, wow, I came from an XRP content talking about stablecoins and USDC. Well, here is the kicker. This is where it becomes important. Cynthia Lummis is introducing a bill basically to revolutionize how mortgage lending happens and make ownership more accessible for young Americans. This was something that Trump ran on when he was going for president. And you may be thinking, well, hold on a minute, Tubit, how does all this play out? A lot of questions you guys have got at the minute. The reality is this bill is going to all be about being able to use digital assets for single family mortgage eligibility, i.e. if you've got $200,000 in crypto, you can offset that, or they can use that as basically a proof of, finances, proof of holdings, if you will. Also, this is supported by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, which obviously we've heard they're very bullish on where digital assets is going, and can be recorded on a cryptographically secured distributed ledger. Now, here you have to put your tinfoil hat on and bear with me, because if it was all about Bitcoin, they would say Bitcoin. It's a Bitcoin strategic reserve. It's a Bitcoin treasury. It's a Bitcoin this. It's a Bitcoin that. The fact that this is deemed as digital assets and cryptocurrencies means that this could be altcoins as well. Now, think about this. Which coin certainly can be a supporter of distributed ledger technology, can be cryptographically secured, can be used worldwide, and is actually integrating itself into the financial markets? You get to the same conclusion I do. It's XRP. Now, like I said, this is a tinfoil hat moment where you kind of have to see what's going on. What I would say, though, we haven't been wrong very often here on the channel when we look at things like this. I'm not saying tomorrow that Cynthia Lummis is going to announce the fact that if you hold XRP, you can get a mortgage. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I think there'll be a short list of certain cryptocurrency assets, including Bitcoin, that you can use to support a house mortgage. I think XRP is part of that. And that is why I think we've seen a massive acquisition, whether that be traditional companies, finance, fintech firms, and whales. And it's always good to watch where the money goes. But actually, whales over the course of the last 24 hours in that uncertainty in the market have scooped up over 60 million XRP. Pretty crazy. And it wasn't only the whales that were deciding to get an XRP. I actually was using Bitunix, which is my new exchange partner. And I actually took a long trade out at 311 on XRP. And it's actually performing pretty well as well. If you want to come and trade all your favorite cryptocurrencies, check out the link in the description. No KYC, available all over the world. And more importantly, you're going to get a 50% discount, not only on your fees, on your losses as well. No one else is offering you that kind of partnership with Bitunix. So check out the link in the description, head on over there, get signed up. And if you do it during my live stream, they will actually credit you back the losses and the fees. So definitely worthwhile checking out Bitunix here. I've got 2 trades open, Bitcoin and XRP, both printing pretty well at the minute. 13% up on the XRP, on the Bitcoin, and nearly 7% up on the XRP trade. So stay close to this. We also talked about this yesterday, and I want to just double down on something I discussed, which was the XRP Ledger Exchange outflows. How much XRP was leaving exchanges? A couple of you guys in the comments were saying, "Too bad, I just don't think this is true." Well, we actually saw a surge of over 500%. So think about this. You've got whales accumulating over 60 million brand new XRP coins and then taking it off exchanges. This tells us one thing. It's going up. We absolutely believe, and more importantly, we're seeing cold storage and DeFi protocols being the main source of where this XRP is going to go. Combined with a $980 million whale accumulation, this is actually one of the biggest outflows of XRP we've seen over the course of a number of months. And I think this is very bullish and sets us up, I think, for a very crazy next 24 to 48 hours in the cryptocurrency market. All while we count down to the speculation of August 15th, where we expect both Ripple and the SEC to pull everything and hopefully, and finally, I mean, I don't know what content I'm going to make once this is done, but that court case should be over. I mean, Jesus, it's been going on for long enough. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully we see that end up, and that would be very bullish indeed. And then just for all of you absolute maxes out there, given everything we've talked about, I know many of you love the fact that people talk about $1,000 XRP. I actually broke this down in a bit more detail than maybe some other people do, but I thought, why not? Why not allow ourselves that little moment in time to think about, could XRP hit $100? Could it hit 1,000? Don't hate me in the comments, everybody. Zach Rector here, giving us a view saying, look, here are some inflows needed for $100 and $1,000 on XRP. You need $11.58 billion of net inflows to hit $100, and then you would also need for $1,000 XRP 118 to $589 billion of net inflows to hit those. Using the market cap multipliers 100 to 500 both examples, keeping it conservative, using simple math. I think it's fair to say I'm not sure XRP is heading to $1,000 this bull market cycle, but I think it's fair to say XRP, in my opinion, is set for a breakout. There is massive accumulation from big bag holders, from fintech companies, and huge partnerships that I think are going to be announced pretty soon. We haven't been far wrong here on the channel. And the actual chart on XRP, well, looks pretty crazy as well. You can see this key structure happening on the markets right now. We're on the weekly candles, and you can see we're just coming down, retesting some of these lows. This is why I took a trade open. We actually came down, wicked down all the way down here. Look, perfectly hit that $3.03 mark and then bounced back to the upside. I actually think we'll settle at around $3.16 over the course of the next 24 hours, with then a potential push heading up towards that $3.63, and then maybe on even further to that $4 mark. So lots of bullish stuff going on with XRP. As always, we keep you updated every single day with not only the truth, but more importantly, factuals and facts that support those evidence. So let me know what you think of all this in the comments down below. As always, we're getting rid of all those scammy comments down there so you guys can absolutely interact with the community, and let me know what you think in the comments. Until then, hit the like and subscribe button for all of your daily content, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.